All right, welcome back to another episode of El Sampler Podcast. Here with Juan. He's here today. He's basically the Deadpool of our X-Men. So
yep, I'm good for everything. Good for everything.
Hey, man. That's good, man. So, so today we're actually going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk about AEW. We normally don't talk about them, but there's been too much stuff going around.
All that
so
drama.
It's kind of the hottest thing. Yeah, it's kind of the hottest thing right now in wrestling for the wrong reasons. But hey, we gotta talk about it.
That's right.
So did you get a chance to watch any of the pay-per-view? Or not?
I watched pretty much the majority of that long ass 5-hour plus show. And it was okay. I mean, it had its ups, it had its downs. A lot of, I don't know, man. They really need to figure out that whole pay-per-view thing. I remember when WWE started doing like the 5-6 match shows, and we were like, damn, that's it. But it was still a 3-hour show.
But it works.
Yeah, but it works. Now that fucking everybody has to be on the card, I'm like, that shit takes forever, dude.
Well, look at Clash of the Castle. They had what? How many people was it?
I think it's like five.
5 matches? Five matches?
Yeah, quality.
And it was more than enough. So you had quality matches. Everybody had some time. Hell, even Raw and SmackDown. Now I think it was on What Culture. Simon Miller was saying that now, even though they have less matches on Raw and on SmackDown, they actually have a lot more wrestling per hour.
Yeah.
And now they have, I think it's like 20-something minutes per hour. It used to be 12.
Yeah, no.
Could you imagine, bro? 36 minutes for a 3-hour show wrestling. That's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's ridiculous.
So, so now there's a lot more in-ring work, but you have people have a chance to wrestle. Now in AEW, it just seems like they try to cram so much into only a few hours.
Yeah.
And that's why they're always having trouble with the timing. Because you can even notice on some of the matches, they're like, okay, let's go home, let's go home, let's go home. And even some of the endings they've screwed up because of that.
Yeah, I think there was one obvious like screw up, and I think the wrong team won. But I think they're gonna change that at what is it? The Grand Slam. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll be.
For the Acclaimed.
Yeah, dude, they should have called an audible there.
With that Scissor Me Daddy thing, that's weird.
It's weird, but man, they are entertaining.
It works for them.
I'm sorry, the whole Swerve and Keith Lee, it just doesn't work for me, man.
No,
it really doesn't.
Keith Lee, once he left NXT, he sucked.
Yeah, it's crazy, huh? It's crazy how like you're watching both of these guys and you're like, oh, okay, hell yeah, they're at the top of their game. But then once again, man, this podcast, especially on my behalf, is gonna sound like I'm a big ass hater, and it's probably because I am a hater, but with justified points in my view. But as soon as it got there, it's just like, okay, Keith Lee, big pop. Huge fans are crazy. Everybody's talking about hashtag game changer. Hasn't done shit, dude. Okay. The only reason why Swerve and Keith Lee won the championships is because the Bucks didn't want to fucking lose to FTR, and that'll come at one point, right? But they really haven't done shit, man. They really haven't.
No,
I don't know what you think.
No, honestly, and that's why you have a lot of people that go from. Like indies to go to NXT to AEW, it's like to AEW to WWE to the main roster. That's why I do think that NXT was a necessary filter for these guys, and it kind of is, because all these guys are used to going to the indies, and it's like, okay, you have 15 minutes to show everything you've got. There's no storyline, there's no nothing. It's just like, all right, just go. So then when you go to a regular show, it's like you just kind of like go, and that's not how it works for a TV. Remember, some of these people that you go see at a little spot show, you might never see them again.
Yep,
that might be it. But when you're seeing the same characters week after week after week after week, it's only the good ones that really survive the whole thing.
Yeah,
when you really look at it,
it's I think my biggest complaint with the entire show is the false finishes. Too many fucking false finishes, man. It's just, let's just talk about that match. How many kickouts? And I think what got the crowd pissed off was at one point Keith Lee broke up a pin, but he technically didn't break it up. I think the ref just kind of stopped counting, and that's when the crowd started saying like, "You fucked up, you fucked up." It's just too much of that, man. It's just too much of the back and forth. And I know we're getting really into it, but this is obviously the first episode. We kind of got to give the fans an idea of like where we stand, or at least where I stand with AEW. I enjoy their stuff, man. And when it comes to like their main matches, I think they pull them off. It's just they do a lot of flippity floppy, a lot of I don't know, for a company that likes to talk about wrestling, they have a lot of sports entertainment stuff. And I'm not trying to fucking be Jericho here, but
you know what? I don't think they have so much sports entertainment stuff. They just have acrobatics. They just have gymnasts there, because it's like, and one thing, and you were talking about false finishes. The other thing that pisses me off are no selling. Like,
oh god,
bro, you could have like the craziest move in the world that you're like, oh, that's it, game over. No, then you're like, why wasn't that a pin? And the other guy does something worse, and he doesn't even register. He doesn't even sell. Nothing. Like there's no storytelling at all. Like it's just like, and I understand. Okay, it's smaller guys. So if you're smaller, what do you have to do? You have to be very athletic, or you have to be extremely technically gifted, kind of like Brian, which you don't have a lot of those. It's really hard to do either one.
Exactly.
But at least there's some credibility behind it, and not credibility in terms of fighting. Because if I want to watch real fighting, I'll just watch UFC.
Yep.
Done. I want to get into the story. I want to be able to see these guys do crazy things that you wouldn't see in a normal fight. That's why I watch wrestling. That to me is the most important part. But then again, I also want to see if somebody is supposed to get hurt by a move. How the hell are you going to tell me, oh yeah, you're going to do a 450 splash, or some kind of random Puerto Rican destroyer or something like that, instead of just doing the pin. I don't get it. Like I really don't get it. It just and then it seems like it's just going back and forth, and then somebody wins. And the other thing is, and sorry to cut you off, is the whole thing of not necessarily having defined heels or baby faces, because that to me is not that important. It's just so much that people are, oh yeah, AEW. It's not like, let's go Kenny or let's go CM Punk. No, it's like AEW. They just AEW. It's like if they're watching a movie, and I get it, because it's it's kind of supposed to take you out of real life and whatnot. But come on,
I think the one spot that always sticks out to me the most is, and I'm not sure what pay-per-view it was. It was last year where we had the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks in the steel cage match. The super kick, Nick. Super kicks Pentacero kicks Matt kicks a Phoenix, and it's just back and forth, boom, no selling, and then all of a sudden just one, they do the kick ups, they look at each other, they do the drop kick, the double drop kick, no one, it's just boop. I'm like, it's just so overdone, man. It's just too
choreographed. It's way too choreographed.
And don't get me wrong, that was a fucking amazing match. A lot of the matches that the Bucks have, and a lot of the matches that these guys have are great. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not the Meltzer. I'm not going to give stars. But, man, it's just a little bit too much repetitive.
Give them 7 stars.
7.5 because it was at the Tokyo Dome. Don't forget.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. That's true.
I feel like you could tell a story without all of that shit. I mean, once again, I know it just happened recently, but look at Sheamus and Gunther. That fucking match was incredible, dude.
I think the whole match might have had 10 moves.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it was all, he had like 75 chops.
Yep.
Punches. That's it. Yeah. But did Sheamus get to hit the white noise? Or?
Yeah, I don't think remember. He hit one.
Or at least he tried. No, he tried to.
Well, he brought back the Celtic Cross.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's
he
true.
brought back the Celtic Cross.
But at least there was only a few moves, and every time there was a big move, it meant something. Like, it was like whoa. Because even Walter, at some points, he faltered. It's like, oh shit, like that hurt.
Yeah. So man, that shit was crazy.
I mean, the best example of somebody selling that could no sell anything if he felt like it was Brock Lesnar. Bro, when Brock Lesnar is selling. You tell me the Young Bucks aren't going to sell?
Yeah.
But Brock fucking Lesnar sells
seller.
Like he's great. And you're going to tell me that the Young Bucks can't sell, that Kenny Omega can't sell. that Orange Cassidy is with his damn pockets, and which is kind of funny.
It is. I enjoy it. I enjoy him.
And it's crazy the way he does all these moves with his hands in his pockets. I mean, I can't even do it on 2K.
Yeah,
but the thing is, but at the end of the day, it adds nothing to the story. Yeah, it's a cool spot. Okay, I've seen it 75 times already.
Yeah, that's true.
Who cares? True. So I don't know.
I think they're the best when they're actually telling us a story or it's just a match. Like I'm tired of the whole a dream match. It's a dream match, you know. Like I'm tired of that part there. I'm like, give me an actual story. I think the only one that really does that is fucking Chris Jericho, and half of his matches are not that great in my opinion. His last match with Bryan, I don't think was that great. I know a lot of people did like that. I just didn't really care for it. But I think he's the last real storyteller in that company, man.
Yeah, well, they have no choice. Well, it's like that match that he had with Moxley that everybody was praising. Yeah. To me, that's one of the sloppiest matches I've ever seen in my life.
Extremely.
Bro, I was like, what is going on here? Because you're expecting more from these guys. I mean, especially Jericho, you know, that he's always been a good in-ring performer. He is a little older. I get it. I mean, at that age, I don't think there's ever been anybody that good.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, shit, he's better than Punk, and he's what, like 15 years older or something?
Yeah, but that story with Punk and Moxley going in, even though it was a little bit crazy because obviously he got buried in about 3 minutes, and then he had to gain his confidence. But I mean, they were pretty much going with the Rocky storyline. Yeah, but they sped it up because it was 2 weeks. So I'm like, But
yeah, that was kind of weird. Well, they don't know how to tell stories. In fact, the person that should be in charge of AEW storytelling should probably be Jericho.
Yeah, that's true.
They should just sit him down, just take a chair. Here you go. We're going to pay you a little bit more. Just don't wrestle again, and you're just going to be the head of creative.
Yeah, but
because who do they have? Who do they have? Even of all the legends they have, because they have like Mark Henry. All right, cool. What does he know about storytelling? You have like
Big Show. You got Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko.
Arn Anderson, Dean Malenko. They're great technicians in the ring, but they're not great storytellers. Yes, yeah, exactly. You need, for example, like Road Dogg was saying the other day. He's like, "Oh, somebody would hire me, whatever." They should have hired him ages ago.
They should have. But he ended up coming back. He ended up coming back to the dub.
But they could have signed him like a year ago once he got fired. Like, just give him a shot. What's the worst that can happen? All right, buddy, if you're not cool, well, goodbye.
Yeah, and I think they've done that a few times with most wrestlers that get cut. Like, for instance, Matt Cardona, he came up there for a drink of water. He had a glass of water there. He had a couple matches, and then, all right, see you later, guy. Yeah, exactly. What's his name? Johnny Mundo was there for one match.
Oh, God.
Bye.
Johnny Dynamite.
I mean, they've had a few like that where they bring them in for 1 or 2 matches and then kind of like let them go. So,
well, so they could actually use the same thing, but for people in the back, I guess for creatives. But you need somebody that is good putting together a story.
Agreed.
You can't just have these guys just doing whatever the hell they want to, and for no reason. Because in the end of the day, nothing really happens.
Yeah,
that's the messed up part. Like, there's nothing ever happens. So
your opinion. So with all of this said, obviously we got in way off track because this was supposed to be Dynamite. But what did you think about the main event of with Punk and Moxley, and what did you think of the aftermath?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do think that it was a decent. It was a pretty good match. Everything. I mean, we knew it was going to happen. But honestly, after everything, I really don't care that much about the match, because the match literally meant nothing.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah,
and you know, the person that has to be pissed off the most, John Moxley.
Yeah,
bro, he was supposed to be on vacation, and him of all people, you know, he must have been pissed. Like, he must have said something. So could you imagine? Renee's ready to go. She has her suitcase ready to go.
Got the kid ready.
Ready to make another kid. They're ready to go. Nope.
But that's just
because these fools were dickheads.
But that just goes to speak to, like, you know, and we've been having this conversation back and forth with us and JJ on our message thread here, and we've been sending things. It goes to show you that I think the WWE and Triple H were right, even though those promos were cut and they were promos, they were scripted promos, but a lot of that stuff is right, dude. Like I actually did enjoy the match, but like you said, it ended up meaning nothing because they ended up stripping him. He's no longer the champion. I think he's hurt, right? So it just
his
made
tricep or something.
Yeah,
it's gonna be out for like 6 to 8
it's gonna
months.
be for a long time. Moxley ended up taking that loss for no reason because now he's in the tournament, but like it makes him look like, okay, you couldn't even beat this guy, right? Which granted it is CM Punk, but I think we as wrestling fans have made him out to be this last great messiah of wrestling because, you know, what he stood for and what happened with him. But man, apart from everything he did in WWE, he hasn't really done much in AEW other than being champion twice. I disagreed when he beat Hangman the first time, or the only time. And what happened at the press conference just was it was shocking. It was shocking that they were doing okay. My biggest issue with everything is the fact that dumbass Tony Khan sitting next to him and just let him go off, dude. Like, and I hate that I keep
sat there. He just sat there and took it.
Yes, he just fucking sat there
like,
and let him talk shit about his young talent. Like this is what this company is about. It's not bringing in Brock Lesnar. It's not bringing in, you know, the Goldberg. It's
No, and then Tony Khan with the bottle of water. You're like, oh God! I was like, this guy's gonna choke.
I'm not gonna take this fucking shit anymore. You know, it's
yeah. And then Punk is like, yo, don't worry about it, Tony. We're all learning here. I'm like, oh my God, bro, you literally just buried this guy.
Which is what made me
everybody.
It made me believe it was a work. Honestly, when I first saw that, I was like, there's no way this shit is going on. Like, he's calling out fucking the Bucks. He's calling out Kenny. He's calling out Hangman. It's fucking ridiculous. He's calling out MJF, talking about, oh, he's making me work with pricks. He's making me work with kids.
Even though I do, I kind of have the impression that the MJF thing was more of a work.
Yeah, I think so too.
Kind of like a little internal
next.
jam.
Yeah, he's next.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything was gonna happen, but he's just so full of his fucking ass. He's so up his ass, and he thinks he's so fucking fantastic that it's just. I honestly am sick of. I'm sick of it, and this is coming from a guy who, when he came back, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be. It'd be great.
Game changer.
I even got this fucking guy, right? I even got this guy. Okay, so I was like, okay, cool, he's back. I got the fucking shirt, all of this.
It's gonna be at the clearance bin at the dollar store soon.
Yeah, and then he fucking comes back and he's same old WWE CM Punk. I'm not trying to make a change. I'm not trying to do this. I'm worried about myself. I think that's what it ended up being.
Well, I do understand a little bit of where he's coming from. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying it makes sense because he thought that he had finally broken through, right? Be that next guy without being the body guy, without being, because I think he always had resentment against people like John Cena, against The Rock.
Yeah.
Why? Because in the end of the day, let's be honest here, is Punk the best in the ring? No. But but if you compare him with The Rock, as amazing as The Rock is, as great as John Cena is, CM Punk was still better in the ring in terms of being a technical wrestler. Not in terms. Okay, because the thing is, for example, he was like, I would say, not the beta, but the alpha version of Daniel Bryan to a certain extent. Why? Because he was somebody known more for obviously for the indies and for actually wrestling. Let me put this damn iPad here. Like he was more of an indie darling. He was known for his in-ring work. His matches with Joe were amazing. He was really good in the ring. Was he sloppy? Yeah. Was he sloppy? Yes. But then again, he was a different looking guy. Like if you would have told me when I was a kid, if you would have told me, oh, who's better, Ultimate Warrior or Bret Hart? I would have told you 10 times Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, okay. I would have,
when I was a kid. I'm talking about like 9-year-old me.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Now 14, 15, 16-year-old me is like, wait a minute. That's something's going on here.
Yeah.
So that's why Punk was actually really great, and he finally got the title, and he thought that automatically by getting the title he was the guy. But at the end of the day, the title's just a prop. It's just a means to an end to a certain extent. I'm not going to sound like Russo, but
he's the locker room leader.
Yeah, and that's the problem. He automatically thought that because, like, how many times did Taker have the title? He didn't have it that much, but he was always the locker room leader.
He was respected.
Andre the Giant, he was the locker room leader. I think he only had the title once.
And I don't think anybody has to call themselves that. Like, I feel like
you earn it.
Yeah, and everybody knows that. Like,
exactly.
And it's like that TikTok I sent you guys, where Cody and Jericho are talking about him. He's like, as the locker room leader, I'm telling you guys to clean up after yourself. And what did Book do? Gets trashed, throws it on the ground. This guy, you ain't telling me what to do. There's just,
especially Booker T. I could just imagine Booker T, bro.
Booker T ain't playing that shit, dude.
He's gonna be like, bro, I'll whoop Batista. I'll whoop you too.
Yo, that's what I'm saying,
Quicker.
Man. It's
just like the problem is it's almost like history repeating itself because you always end up turning into the thing you hate.
But worse, honestly, I think this is beyond worse than what happened in WWE.
Well, it is because he genuinely thought that he's like the end all be all.
Yeah.
Here, and he had to use the Jericho approach, right? Jericho had the same exact issues too, right? Because look at him, he beat The Rock, he beat Stone Cold, he had the first unified title, and they disrespected him like crazy.
They did.
He's never been the guy in a company ever.
Yeah.
And he's one of the greatest of all time. Probably at least top 10, top 15. Yeah, but he never main evented WrestleMania or anything. But he's brilliant. I mean, he's great in the ring, or at least he used to be great in the ring, great on the mic. He changed his character like a million times. Most people don't even have one damn good gimmick. He's had like 10. And he made stupid idiot a thing.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Who does that? But that's the thing. I don't think you have to hold the title or have a great run with the title to be the guy. Once again, we go back to Taker, right? I think his title runs a lot of the times were pretty boring. I mean,
it sucked.
Right?
He was just a temporary guy.
Yeah, he was a temporary guy. Jericho was never really taken serious with the title, but once again, I don't think that was his strength. Like, I don't know, man. It's something about it. You have to be a specific type of person to hold this title and for it to matter. Like, I don't know, man. This is no disrespect to Jericho, because Jericho is incredible. He's still very good. It's very impressive that he's still able to put out the type of matches that he's doing. But it's just, I don't think so. Like, okay, so going into Dynamite, the Tournament of Champions, we had this week Hangman and Bryan. Next week, I think we got Sammy versus Darby, which is crazy, and we'll get to that. But I think it's crazy that Sammy's there. Jericho immediately goes to the second round. He's already there, and so is Moxley. Mm-hmm. And then September 21st, we have the finals at Arthur Ashe. I think it's Arthur Ashe.
Yeah, Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. Yeah.
So, I guess starting off, first match, Hangman and Bryan. What did you think?
So, yep. Honestly, I'm glad that Bryan has it. To be honest with you, I want Bryan to win the whole thing. I think after all this turmoil, he's the perfect guy to have it. Just because he's a stable guy, and he's credible.
Yeah,
and he can definitely be the top guy. He's been the top guy in the top company. So,
but you don't feel a certain type of way, and I know this is the argument on Twitter every single time that somebody jumps ship. But you wouldn't feel a type of way if Bryan Danielson wins the title and it goes back to another ex-WWE. Yeah, we could call him ROH guy, but I mean, he is a WWE guy. You don't feel any type of way fact that...
Not really, because it's like... It's like I've said before. You have a basketball team. You sign Kevin Durant. you're going to play him. I don't care who's been there from day one. They've been there. They've been there since they started the team. I don't care, bro. I just signed this guy, and this guy's going to make me better.
Yeah,
he's going to make all of you guys better. He's going to make everybody more money.
True.
And that's where I think that a lot of wrestling fans don't have it right, because everybody's come from somewhere at some point. The only place that you get that they don't that are just from one place is usually WWE, because they have NXT and they have the Performance Center, but not everybody has that. Before, WCW kind of had that to a certain extent, but you don't have that anywhere. Because before, with the territories, it was literally you had a baby face and he traveled around the whole nation. You had a heel, he'd finish his feud with the baby face from that territory, then he'd go to another territory. Yeah. And that's basically it. But now it's just there's only two options. I mean, where are you going to come from?
Yeah.
So they have to come from somewhere. And that's why I don't have a big problem with that. But okay, so the tournament. Did you like that match? The one with Hangman and
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that match. Sorry. Yes, Bryan Danielson. I enjoyed that match. I'm always 50-50 with Hangman, because I do enjoy him. I enjoyed him in ROH. I enjoyed him for what he did in New Japan. I just kind of knew that there's no way he was going to move on. All this drama kind of stems from him too, right? Because of the shoot promo he did. So I kind of already knew it was going to have Bryan. Obviously on Friday. So it's Friday on Rampage. We get Sammy and Darby, which is going to be a very interesting match. Once again, I can't believe Sammy's in there out of everybody.
After all his drama too.
Yeah, and not just that. Did you see the clip where he drops Ruby on her neck?
Yeah, I saw that.
That's just fucking crazy.
Like, I think if it was you or JJ that I texted the other day, it's like, yeah, the first match, the opening match, you already have an injury.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, bro.
And she fucking,
Yeah, and she broke her nose, actually.
Yeah, and then Ty breaks her nose with that.
I actually feel bad for her, bro. Like, she can never get it together. Every time she tries something, she always ends up.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But who do you have against Darby and Sammy?
That's gonna be Darby.
Darby, yeah, I agree. Yeah, and then that'll give us next week on Dynamite. We'll have Chris Jericho and Bryan, and assuming Darby wins, it'll be Darby and Moxley, which I can only assume Moxley's gonna make it all the way to the end.
It's gonna be Moxley and Bryan. I mean, they already have a storyline built in.
Yeah, but that's the crazy part. I think. Well, you know what? Yeah, I agree. I guess the one way I can see it happening is Jericho is trying to cheat to win next week. What's his name? Daniel Garcia comes in, kind of corrects the situation. Yeah, and then helps Bryan get the win, which honestly would be great. I mean, the last time. I think that holds. Once again, I like to cut in and out and all this. I've been losing the point. Last year at Arthur Ashe, that fucking stadium is amazing. Like, that whole show is great. Like, I don't know why WWE never did anything there, but like, for instance, last year we got Bryan.
That's when Bryan
and Omega.
Wait, that's where we had Bryan and Omega.
Yeah, it was Bryan and Omega, and it was an hour draw. Right, it was an hour draw. Or 30-minute draw.
Yeah, that's true. Because All Out, that's when Bryan and Adam Cole came out, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, great. So it's his year anniversary there, and then, man, I think this is gonna be great. I just want them to just figure shit out, man. I feel like they're in the same position right now where WWE was maybe 2 years ago, when WWE had all that talent. Kind of just had everybody just kind of going all over the place. I honestly feel if they just cut half of that roster and just stuck to telling a story, I think they'd be fine, man. Honestly.
Well, they have a bloated roster. It's just, then again, it's the billionaire kid that has enough money to buy all the toys in the toy store. That's basically what happened. Now he doesn't know how to play. Now he doesn't have enough time to play with them.
Yeah, but then he also has ROH. Like, okay, you don't want to cut them. Yeah, you don't want to cut them. Send them to ROH. They need to figure that out. Obviously, I don't know if they have
but they have no
deal.
TV.
Yeah, exactly.
So even if they send him to ROH, who cares about ROH? Nobody does. I mean, even Impact, even though it's on Access TV, but at least they have a TV deal.
Yeah.
ROH has nothing. So what are you going to do? Do another web show? So it's going to be AEW Dark 3?
Yeah.
Basically, because you have Dark
tough.
Elevation, and Dark ROH or something.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Like you got to cut the fat somewhere.
Yeah,
I understand Dark or at least Elevation more than anything, because even though it's the worst show, but at least it's kind of like their farm system. No, but it's true. Like, that's where they bring their super green guys.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Because I mean, it just bothers me so much, because you have so many people. For example, one guy that I don't know if you like him. I know JJ can't stand him, but I like him. I think he's great. Rusev, Miro. I think they built this guy up to be a monster. After they gave him that stupid ass game over,
the best guy. I'm the best man.
That's what. Oh, that was just the worst.
The best man, dude.
Yeah.
No,
that sucked.
This
that
Redeemer,
the Redeemer was great.
The name, just alone,
fantastic.
the Redeemer. I'm like, this fucking is amazing right here. This is dope.
It's like a religious psychopath type. Good, or he's kind of doing bad things for good, I guess. He's like a Thanos type of figure, I guess. So it worked. Like, it was really, really, really good. But
even that,
I don't know. Then poof, disappears.
You see, that's somebody that you can immediately throw in with Cesaro on Ring of Honor. That's somebody that you can throw. Imagine a Miro. I was about to call him Rusev. A Miro and Joe match for the TV title on ROH. Just imagine that. That'd
the
be
Redeemer.
That'd be Joe. Yeah, that'd be dope. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, man. Honestly, don't know what he's doing with Ring of Honor. I hope he figures it out, because Ring of Honor definitely needs something. But I think another issue that I didn't even think we thought about, all these fucking titles. All these fucking titles.
Bro, which is the one that Pac has? What is it?
The All Atlantic.
What the fuck is that? What does that mean?
Like their
first of all, what does it mean?
It's like their IC title.
Oh, so it's only the part of the. So it's only like East
the
Coast
Atlantic,
of the US,
yeah,
and then the West Coast of Europe or something. Like,
yeah. So okay, you know what?
What the hell is this? It's like the most random thing.
If the TNT title is the IC title, then this is not. I wouldn't even compare it to the US title. This will probably be like the European title.
European title.
Yeah, this would be the European title. Then they got the FTW, which the Cruiserweight title. I don't know. Is it even really? Does it matter?
Well, we already know that the FTW title isn't a real title. I mean, that's Taz's thing,
right? But then they have matches for it on pay-per-view.
Yeah, but it's kind of like its own gimmick type deal. It's
well, don't you remember?
It's not really important.
Don't you remember when they were? Yeah, that's my boy Ricky Stark. But don't you remember when they were like, "Hey, we're gonna have a huge announcement today on Dynamite," and the fucking huge announcement was the fucking FTW belt? That's fucking terrible, right?
Well, it's like the huge announcement. Oh my God, who's coming? Oh my God, it's CM Punk. Oh, it's Daniel Bryan. Oh, it's Christian. What?
Yeah, man, that's even. Hey, look, let me say this. Let me defend this. I even agree that WWE is doing too much of that as well right now. I enjoy Braun Strowman, but the issue with bringing Braun back is the fact that there's only so many people that can beat him and it not look stupid, right? So, for instance, like, let's take Kevin Owens right now. Kevin Owens is being pushed as a top guy right now. How would it look for him to beat Braun?
I think it could work with
It'd
Kevin
be
Owens.
So tough, though.
I think it could work with Kevin Owens.
It'd be tough.
Kevin Owens, I think it would. Why?
Because when you see them side by side and you see, number one, that height difference.
Bro, everybody's small next to Braun Strowman. Even fucking Bobby Lashley's small next to Braun Strowman, bro.
Yeah,
so there's nobody that's going to be
that. You know, and I love Kevin Owens, man.
Still,
I love KO. Okay,
damn,
I love KO. But Jesus
your
Christ,
your shirts hate each other.
They do actually hate each other. You saw that. You saw that. You saw that.
The Stone Cold in him WrestleMania on the main event, bro. That was
Kevin. No, Kevin, if you're watching this, I'm your biggest fan. I'll mark out. Yeah, I'm a mark for you, dude. I'm a mark for you, dude. Okay. But yeah, man. I think as such a negative show for the last 34 minutes that we've made out AEW to be, I feel like they can fix shit. I think Tony Khan just needs to stop being a fucking mark. I think Tony Khan needs to. I don't know if you've ever seen this YouTube channel, and I'm gonna send you this video. I want to say it's called Wrestling Bits, and he makes. Okay, so I'm gonna send you this video. It's his most recent upload, talking about what the issue with AEW and Tony Khan is. Watch the video. He makes really good points, and I think it revolves mainly around Tony Khan and how much of a spineless mark fanboy that he is. I think once they get that figured out, I think they'll be fine. You know.
Well, he needs like in the mob, he needs a consigliere. He needs
a Vince McMahon.
No, I don't even think of Vince McMahon. He needs, for example, more than a Vince McMahon. He needs kind of like what Triple H was to Vince McMahon, to a certain extent. That guy that is the liaison to the guys, because he was a wrestler. Tony Khan's never put his damn foot in the ring, and nobody even wants him to do it anyways. But he could, and then somebody that actually has a good brain for that. So I was thinking about Vince Russo.
I like, oh God, please don't say fucking.
Hey, bro.
Come on,
let me tell you
bro.
something, bro. In the Attitude Era,
oh, bro.
It's like,
you know who would be great, and I know it would never happen.
Who?
Bischoff.
No, I don't think.
I feel like he has enough issues with Tony Khan that he's not going to be a yes man, but he also has enough respect in the game to like, hey, look, I don't agree with this. I agree with this. Like, it'll be a good mixture.
You know why I don't think he would work? Just because, one, he does have too much animosity against Tony Khan, and he's said already too much stuff. Plus the fact, what has he really done? He literally stumbled at the whole WCW thing. WCW thing.
NWO.
Yeah, he copied that from Japan, bro.
But he brought it here.
Did that, like, okay, bro. He literally. Look, he lucked out.
So
he
here's
lucked
the
out
argument.
With the whole thing.
Here's the argument, right? Everybody
and he had Ted's checkbook. It's like
everyone says, "Oh, he copied it from Japan," but nothing blew up like that did. Why? Because yes, he had Ted's book. He had the right people. I'm sorry, dude. Forever, I don't care if he stole it from my mom's playbook. He made the NWO what it originally was before it got, all bloated and shit. But hey,
yeah, but that's a whole other story. But the other thing that happened was he ended up doing that while WWE was putting fucking garbage men and hockey players in their shows. Their shows sucked. It wasn't like they had a lot of competition. Yeah, so you could have put anything that was halfway decent on TV, and it would have done well. Granted, he turned Hogan heel, which is probably the craziest heel turn ever, right? Which that worked because I
gave me Hollywood Hogan, dude. Bro, I'll forever love him.
Yeah, I don't like Hulk Hogan, but Hollywood Hulk Hogan is pretty badass. I liked him. He was so corny but so good.
Yep.
And then you had Nash and Hall. I mean, come on, it worked great.
Yep.
But the one thing is that, and you've probably seen this clip from Kevin Nash when he was talking to Stone Cold. But he was like, when the Stone Cold podcast.
No, I've watched it, but which one? Yeah. What are you talking?
Well, when he was like, when Eric Bischoff was all happy, like, oh yeah, we're gonna put Vince out of business, and Kevin Nash is like, nope, you're not. And then Hogan's like, you don't sleep on him. He's like, Eric, did you just notice your whole fucking locker room was scared of two WWF guys?
That's true. That's
and
true,
what
man.
happened? 83 weeks later, done.
Boom, over. Yep.
That's the thing that it's really hard. It's really hard to beat WWE, and especially now is going to be much harder. But you know who? But going back to the whole topic of who would we put? You know who my pick would be?
Who's that?
It's going to sound crazy, but I think but it does make some sense. Conan.
Yeah, there you go.
Because
that would be good.
He's been involved in all the companies.
Yep.
He runs AAA, which is a pretty damn company. It's one of the biggest in the world.
Yep.
Even though people might not recognize it here in the States, but it is one of the biggest companies out there.
It is.
And he's bilingual, so it helps him communicate with all the guys in English and in Spanish very well.
He's cool with the boys.
Exactly.
Cool with
And
the
it
boys.
seems like he's a straight shooter.
Yep.
I mean, he does. He's going to have his politics and bullshit. He's going to want to have his little piece of the pie, old school. But guess what? He's going to be good with storylines. He's going to be able to talk to the guys. And like they were even, I don't know what podcast I was listening to the other day. They were saying that he's really good in being one of the boys, but also being part of the office, which is really hard because it's like either you're either or. You can't be both.
Yeah, you got to
so
be.
He's one of the few people
line.
So he's one of the few people that could actually do both.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be perfect, absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
and
cool.
he's a big name here in the States, but he's not that big of a name that's going to interfere and get in the way. It's not like signing Hulk Hogan or something like that. He's big enough to get respect, but he's not like your big huge legends. So.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, hey, so what do you think about Malakai Black?
He is gone. Let's start off by saying that hopefully whatever is going on, hopefully he figures that out. Hopefully he gets
Hopefully
the help that he
man.
needs. Yeah, hopefully he's all right. It's a 6-month no compete, so 180 days compared. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely was there, obviously, so he doesn't jump ship immediately to WWE. But yeah, they fumbled that one, man. They fumbled that. They were
doing so well. They were doing so well, and then it's like next week, he's not there.
Well, I can tell you the exact moment they fucked up was when he was trying to do the black. I don't know what he calls it there, but the black mass. When he tried to kick Arn Anderson and that boy blocked it. Pop. Yeah, that was it. That was over. It was over.
He lost all credibility there.
Yep.
That was done. Yeah, but hopefully he's good. And what about this yesterday, this Wednesday? I did like the MJF promo, and I like the Mox promo. The MJF promo was perfect. Like,
Jesus Christ!
If you're giving a promo class, that should be chapter 1.
That motherfucker took the crowd from, hey guys, I love you guys too. You think I'm gonna listen to these fucking Oh my god!
But he had him. He was pulling on this. Yeah, but he was pulling from the string for a long time. I was like,
yeah, I know, right?
I was like, wait. I was like, is he turning face?
The fucking
at
epitome.
one point, at one point, he almost got me. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I did too.
Where's he going with this? And all of a sudden, I was like, there you go. He's back.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Great fucking promo. As for Moxley's, it was good. I think we had this conversation through text a little bit yesterday. I just think he looks kind of dumb. He's coming out there. And I agree. Look, he's carrying the fucking company on his back right now. Okay. He's doing everything that he can to kind of keep the company going, pushing forward. But I just think he looks dumb, dude. Like, he unfortunately had to, and it's not him looking dumb, but they made him look dumb, putting over Punk being stripped, Punk getting hurt. So you couldn't even beat a hurt Punk. You just had the title. And you know what's crazy? I don't know if you noticed this. At the beginning of Dynamite, when Tony Khan was giving that announcement, number one, he got booed. Yeah. Number two, he said the most prized possession in all combat sport, the AEW championship. But they took time and they put resources into making sure, for instance, on this graphic that I'm seeing here, Jon Moxley, 3-time world champion. So they are taking the WWE championship into account instead of just specifically focusing on, hey, he's a 2-time AEW champion, they sure aren't making it seem very important if they're willing to put, hey, he also was a champion at.
Well, I mean,
place.
they've done it. They've done it before because look what happened with Flair. Flair, they did the same thing.
Yeah,
so
that's
they did acknowledge some of those other, and I think that's a good thing in the end of the day because they are valid, extremely
and they
valid.
are, but don't. But my issue is don't say. Well, you know what? He could easily said the most prestigious title in this company. In this company, like, because you even let's say combat sports. I wouldn't say that it's be greater than UFC.
I would say in pro wrestling.
Yeah, there you go. That'd probably work better.
I would say in pro wrestling because we can see almost any scrub from UFC will beat the shit out of even your top star.
Yep. So you like the Mox promo? You like that?
Yeah, the Mox promo. What I liked about it is that I forgot about the storyline. I was just looking at what was happening at that moment, which. Now, I forgot about the whole Tony Khan thing when he said the most prized possession. When he said, "Oh, this title doesn't mean shit to me," or whatever. He's God. Like, "What matters is what the title represents and all that stuff." Honestly, I think Jon Moxley is the locker room leader they want.
Oh, definitely.
They want, but he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah,
it just seems like he's that reluctant leader. Everybody's looking up to him like, dude, you've been there before. And you're not Jericho that's, 75 years old. Yeah. You're not CM Punk that's falling apart and thinks he's the greatest shit since sliced bread. You have actually done it. You are a good example to everybody. You've done it. You're still relevant. You've been the WWE champ. You've been everywhere. So you've been great in Japan. So you lead us. You take us. And he kind of doesn't want to do it, but at some point, I think he will be that locker room leader because I think he doesn't want to see himself as that corny guy, as a company guy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
In the end of the day, all he has to do is think about the guys that work there. Fuck Tony Khan. Just think about the wrestlers, all these guys that are starting off that he could take under his wing and help them out. That's how you make a wrestling company big. Yeah. That's how you make it good.
Agreed.
So, yeah, and that's why I liked more of the real.
I appreciated it.
The real stuff than the kayfabe stuff and the storyline stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate it, but when you have those two contrasting promos, it to me, obviously, the MJF promo was just fantastic, man. I don't think you could get better than that guy right now. No. And that's beyond no matter what company. I don't think there's a better promo than that guy. But yes, the Moxie promo
even though. When and you kind of corrected me the other day. Maybe Kevin Owens might be better, just in the sense. Remember, Kevin Owens has shackles on him.
Yep.
MJF doesn't.
Yeah.
So if you put Kevin Owens at that same setting, oh God.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He'll just scorched earth.
I mean, just a couple a month ago we were talking about the promo with him and Drew.
Yeah.
And they have to stay within guidelines, okay? It's not like they're just going to be cussing and talking shit all they want.
Yeah, they can't do that. They can't do that over there. But, but it is what it is.
Agreed.
It works, but...
Agreed.
But, yeah, that was great. We already talked about the tournament. Death Triangle beats the Best Friends against Orange Cassidy for the Trios title. Do you care about that?
I care that we have Pac now with 2 titles, so instead of calling him two-belt Pac, we call him Tupac. Tupac. Okay.
Oh, God.
What did you? Okay. Oh, I know we kind of already mentioned this, but what did you think about that women's match?
I mean, it was a nice match to look at, but it wasn't very technical.
I don't know what's going on, dude. I feel like when Toni Storm was elsewhere, her matches were good. Maybe it's just her opponents. I don't know, but I'm not connecting with Toni. I don't care for her as a champ.
Honestly, Penelope's not that bad.
No, she's not bad, but it's just there's no connection there with Toni.
That's true.
So that's my biggest issue.
Then again, I think it's the same thing that's happening in the men's locker room is the same thing in the women's locker room because I think Thunder Rosa was having the same issues too.
Yeah,
where she has a lot of heat.
Well,
so you don't have an actual women's locker room leader either.
Yeah, there's reports of her asking for her release because I don't know if you caught this. During the press conference, Tony, what was it that Tony said? She said,
she says she
oh yeah, she said so. Yeah, so Thunder Rosa says she's injured. So when she says she's not injured, she could come back and lose to me. I'm just like, oh. So there's definitely some heat there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then again, the same thing. You know who I think would have been good for the women for them to hire her?
Lita?
There's two people. No, Lita would have gotten in the way. She's too big of a name.
Mm-hmm. Molly?
Either Mickey James.
Yeah.
That would Mickey James or Gail Kim, in my opinion. One of those two.
I feel like Mickey. Gail Kim is...
Bro, Gail...
I don't care for Gail, dude.
It doesn't matter, but as a locker room leader, like, she's not going to wrestle. She can't even wrestle anymore.
Yeah.
But as a mentor, as somebody to be in charge of it, I mean, look at what she did with Impact a few years back.
Yeah.
Bro, Impact women's division was better than the WWE women's division before the Four Horsewomen.
Yeah, no, definitely the knockouts.
Like,
yeah,
without
definitely.
question. Like, it's not even close.
Definitely.
So, and then right now you still have people jockeying for position because you have Thunder Rosa wanting to be probably or the Mena Mena or whatever that she calls it, right? She wants to be the number one. Yep. Then you have Tony Storm probably trying to pull, and then you have Britt doing her thing. Everybody, so yeah. Oh, one more thing I almost forgot about. I was listening to Conan's podcast, and he was saying that Thunder. He's like, "Hey, I'm cool with Thunder Rosa," but I asked her like, "Hey, what's wrong with you?" She's like, "Oh yeah, I have a bad." This is like right before she said she was gonna leave for a bit. Oh yeah, I have a bad knee. And he's like, all right, cool, all right, whatever. Then, like,
her back.
when she left, then he asked her like, wait, didn't you say your knee was bad? Now you say it's your back? Oh, it's kind of like, the whole thing kind of hurts. And he's like, well, I don't know, but you can't get those two confused. There's no fucking way. I mean, it's your back and your knee. It's like saying your neck and your foot. Like, you don't get those confused.
Yeah,
like, there's no way, bro.
Yeah, there's definitely heat there, and I think she's. I don't know, man. She might be trying to get out too, but that's gonna be difficult in their own way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then at least to wrap it up, at least with Dynamite, it was Wheeler Yuta against Garcia. Did you watch that or not?
I did. I wouldn't call my. Well, yeah, I like Yuta. I'm not a fan of Daniel Garcia. His look is terrible. I don't know, man. I don't like that guy. I don't like his promos. I just don't care for him. The match was good enough. It was entertaining. I saw one thing that and this is one of the reasons why I can't stand the AEW fans. I saw This Is My Rock in Austin. I saw so many tweets of that shit, and I was just like, I can't do it with you guys.
Bro, it's not even D'Lo Brown against the Godfather, for God's sakes.
It's not, man.
Worst,
what did you think? What did you think of the match?
I think, first and foremost, and not to criticize people's look, I have no reason to do that, but
I have titties.
Me too.
Yeah, right. So,
hey, man, dad bobs.
Yep, that's right.
So
hey, criticize me. I don't care.
Look at not you. I'm talking about the wrestlers.
Yeah, no.
I
was talking to the fans.
We have mirrors. So we're good.
Yep, exactly.
So Daniel Garcia looks like. Have you ever played the Nintendo game WWF Steel Cage Challenge?
Yes.
Player 1, the generic guy. That's him. Because not even create a wrestler. Like, look at all these, and look at that little guy. That's Daniel Garcia. He looks just like him. He's not even the creative. He's that guy. He looks just like him. Like, he has no personality, nothing. He's a decent wrestler in the ring, but.
Yeah, no, man. I don't care for him. I don't care for his matches. I think they obviously Yuta lost the title specifically storyline wise. But I don't think he should have lost it. I enjoy Yuta. I enjoy his character. He obviously doesn't have the greatest look too, but
no, but he has some charisma to him.
He has some charisma.
He seems cool. Like he's like
he's there to fucking kick
it.
ass.
There's something to it.
Yeah.
There's something to him. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
That was pretty good. But also like you're saying for storyline for the whole thing with Bryan and Jericho, which kind of sucks because they took away Yuta's title for them too. It's like
it's just like we got the bigger picture here. We got to talk about next week. So yeah, kind of like we talked about. I think we both agree that Garcia is going to get involved next week.
Yeah, and he's going to help Bryan like without question.
Yep, exactly.
Or do you think they're going to do it the other way? Swerve, bro, swerve.
No, and the only reason why I don't think so is because I think it's going to be Danielson versus Moxley. Danielson will win, and then Mox can take his vacation.
Finally.
Yeah, take his fucking vacation.
Renee's at the airport right
now. Well deserved too, might I add. He's done enough. Let this man take a month vacation and let him relax. Like that's shit. True. It's too much.
That's true. But let's see, man. I think we actually went over basically everything. Did you have anything else to add? Anything else that you wanted to comment on or anything like that?
No, man. I think I'm good. I think we kind of covered everything. We covered our thoughts on AEW in general. We covered a little. Well, I think we spent 40 minutes of this hour talking about our thoughts and opinions on AEW, which we had to the first episode. But then we can kind of not that we're trying to make this episode into like a short, compressed AEW Dynamite show, but I think, and now moving on, we can kind of focus more on the matches, focus more on the show entirely instead of our opinions.
Okay, cool. So one last thing. Who do you think should get fired out of the whole thing? Do you think anybody should get fired?
So I think Punk should get fired. He probably won't. I think Punk will probably just end up leaving.
Okay, could happen.
I think he's just gonna take just same thing would happen with WWE. He's gonna take his ball and go home.
I think they're gonna fire the dog, Larry the dog.
Fucking Larry, kick that mother. Hey, thank God for Omega saving Larry. Apparently,
bro. Like I'm trying to picture this. Like all of a sudden, these people are trying to beat the shit out of each other because none of them are tough guys. Like, because the Young Bucks. Could you imagine like? The Young Bucks show up trying to be all tough. Come on now. Like, no.
Ooh, yeah.
Then you have CM Punk all jacked up, all looking all raggedy. And then all of a sudden, Omega just walks in. This guy starts biting him. He takes
grabs
the dog grabs the dog. They pull his hair. They hit Nick Jackson with the damn chair. And then Punk knocks out Matt with punching out like, what the hell, bro? Like,
that's who I feel worse for, though, man. Omega, like, he just came back. After winning the trios title, he seemed very excited and very happy. And now he has to deal with this shit, man. So that's who I feel worse for. I don't know, man. Omega, if you're watching this, dude, just come over, talk to Papa H, dude. Talk to Papa H, dude. He'll take care of you.
Maybe. Come on, man. All I know is the worst thing that happened at AEW was Cody leaving.
Hey, I don't know. I'm gonna look for it and I'll send it to you. But he called it. He called this. They asked him, "Hey, what do you think of like 2022 for AEW?" And he kind of called it a roller coaster. It's gonna be a roller coaster. So I'll send you that so you kind of check it out. Yeah,
he was the only serious person there that knew what he was doing.
Yeah, man. I think he kind of saw the writing on the wall and he's like, "I'm out of here, dude."
Like I said it 4 or 5 times, the best match they ever had was him against his brother.
Yeah,
great storytelling, great wrestling. No fucking Viagra on a pole match or anything like that.
No crazy gimmicks. There was blood, but I think the blood was necessary there. Yeah,
I mean, it's blood.
Exactly.
Literally blood against blood. You
brothers,
have to have blood.
Yeah,
and it made sense.
Match.
And then, Cody crying at the end. It was beautiful to a certain extent, like when you really look at it. In terms of storytelling, they've never had a match like that. That good? No. Not even close.
Yeah, but I'm going to continue watching. I've done a good job watching weekly I'm going to continue trying to give it a chance. It's very hard for me to watch. I mean, shit, we watched 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of Dynamite, 2 hours of SmackDown. God forbid there's a pay-per-view.
Some NXT sometimes.
Some NXT sometimes, but...
good thing that NXT is not as good anymore. I'm so happy to a certain extent.
Yeah, there's only so much wrestling I can watch now, man. It's a lot. It's a lot of wrestling, dude. It's like a job, dude. I enjoy talking about wrestling. Don't get me wrong. I will forever be glad to help you guys out. But man, that's a lot of wrestling, man. It's a lot of wrestling and juggling everything else. It's tough, but hey, man, I'll continue doing this AEW show as long as you have me. All
right, absolutely. All right, guys. So I think that's it. So nothing as always. Hey. This was Javi and Juan in El Sampler. So just remember to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Comment down below.
Comment. That does help a lot. So please, we want to know what you guys want.
Talk about my body. Talk about it.
Shut up, Juan.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
There you go.